Welcome to another episode of the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards. This is the podcast where we celebrate the fiercest women in rock and metal. Today, we're stepping into the shadows and cranking the volume way past 10. Joining me is the powerhouse voice behind one of Wisconsin's most relentless death metal forces, Casket Robbery. Blending massive riffs, industrial textures, horror-drenched atmosphere, and brutally catchy hooks, Casket Robbery have carved out a savage niche in modern extreme metal. Their critically acclaimed sophomore album, Rituals of Death, mixed and mastered by Cryptopsy's Christian Donaldson, has turned heads at Knotfest, Metal Sucks, Decibel, and Metal Injection. They've shared stages with Cannibal Corpse, Suffocation, among others, and brought chaos to festivals like Milwaukee Metal Fest, which they will be at again this year. And they're just getting started. Megan from Casket Robbery, welcome to the Metal Queens podcast.
Hello, thank you so much for having me.
It's so great to have you here. So, Casket Robbery has such a distinct horror and industrialized edge. When someone presses play for the very first time, what do you want them to feel?
Um, I want you to feel like you are immersed in a horror movie. Um, we like throwing elements, whether it's like kind of the cheesy horror comedy, like albeit like Scream and things like that. Those are the 90s, like the early 2000 horror movies. We have little homages to that, or even just the really gritty, dark horror in there. But yeah, we really want to make that atmosphere like you have stuck yourself right in the middle of a horror movie.
Yeah, and by the way, we are recording this on Friday the 13th, so I just thought of that movie when you your riffs are massive. The atmosphere is eerie, and your vocals are absolutely ferocious. How did Casket Robbery develop that balance between brutality and that unsettling melodic edge?
I think it's always just been like a work in progress. Corey um, is the original founder of this band and started it back in like 2013, 2014 as like a side project. And I jumped in. They had really carved out a lot of like the regional, they had toured a little bit, done a lot of stuff in Wisconsin. And then I joined um, what, 8, 9 years ago now. And we really kind of dove into that vibe of being immersed in the horror movies and things like that. We love taking influence from everything. And then both of us love like melodic metal so much too that you have to add in like we wanted it to be brutal but very catchy.
And how did you join the band? How did you get involved?
Um so they had a tour scheduled for like 2 months prior to the old vocalist leaving. And I was actually in a band. I was in a local like metalcore band, and Corey had asked me, "Hey, I'm kind of in a pinch. We have this tour. Can you fill in?" And I had never done like full harsh vocals for like completely, and was like, "Oh yeah, like I'd love to give it a try, sure." And we immediately set out to work. We did a 3-song EP, got that out right away so we'd have something with my vocals on it. And then yeah, I did this tour for I think it was just under a month, like a few days shy of a month, and I fell in love with it. So it just seemed to all come together. We all clicked. This was definitely what I was supposed to be doing. So it kind of just worked out perfectly, and I hopped on.
Mm. What's the metal scene like in Wisconsin?
Oh, the metal scene here is incredible. Um, we have like we have little like pods around the state of just these like home bases of huge metal. Like we've got like Macabre up north, Dusk up north. We've got Jungle Rot. We've got so much. Our friends in Yotuma. There is so much metal here, and it like really. spans the spectrum of what metal is, which is so fun. Madison, where we're based, has been, I grew up with it. And, I got into the little metalcore scene before this. And now like death metal is really having its moment, I think, in the state. And it's just, I love our state. I love all the bands that are coming out of it right now. It's really cool.
Let's talk about your last album, Rituals of Death. It dives deep into occult themes and the darker corners of the human condition. What inspired that chapter of the band creatively?
So I kind of had this thought of Rituals of Death. We had we had a few heavy years going through a lot of stuff, all of us personally through the band. I know a lot of my other jobs are kind of in death care and stuff, but personally we went through a lot. And then through the years of especially COVID in 2020, it really had us tap into those really hard, dark, gritty, hard topics to talk about. And after we had all of these songs pieced together, I kind of looked at them all and was like, oh, these are pretty dark. And the title, like Rituals of Death, kind of just popped in through all the aspects in each of those songs. And that's kind of where that came from.
You work with Christian Donaldson of Cryptopsy on mixing and mastering. What did he bring to the record that elevated it to another level?
So much. He really just um we throw a lot at him. We have a lot of stuff in there. You can hear it through all the various things, and like levels and everything. And he really just scoops it all together and refines it so well and really lets like each piece shine, I think. And that really was captured really well in Rituals of Death. So I'm excited for our next release.
Megan, I know you joined the band later, but what's the story behind the name, Casket Robbery?
I always love that one. I really think that like Corey and the previous vocalist Dustin were kind of throwing around names, like fun names, and then they get up on like Metal Archives and make sure no one had taken that name or anything. And yeah, they kind of both came up with Casket Robbery, and it kind of fit that horror. And early on in the band, a lot of the songs are about serial killers, so it
Mm.
fit that vibe perfectly. And there there's branding right there, and they just kind of went with it. So yeah, that's how that came about.
Your vocal delivery is intense and commanding. You said earlier you didn't scream much. How did you develop your vocal style, and how do you maintain that level of power on tour? And you have a tour coming up.
Um, I initially would practice, all the time. I took lessons from Mary Zimmer early on, from voice hacks, and really found my sound and found that like that more guttural um tone to my voice. And since then have been playing like throughout the years, and the releases have really like not not increased my range, but really like refined it to where I really love where it's at right now and where I'm going to go with it. Maintaining so that first tour that I did, 2 days before I got bronchitis.
Mm.
And so I had to learn very early on how to be on the road and be sick. And the boys will attest to this, that I am a sickly little kid on the road. I think it's because I love talking to everyone so much. And I'm the person behind the merch table every night. So I have to meet everyone. I have to hug everyone and all of
Yeah.
that. And of course, I'm just probably like scooping up like a sponge everyone's germs. But I learned the value of vocal rest. I learned the value of all these things that I do to take care of my voice now, be it tea or water or warming up and things like that. Or, you know, even at some points, my saving grace when I was very sick uh, was a shot of whiskey right before I played.
Mm.
And so all those things are important to me. I know every vocalist is going to say something different. Like some vocalists are like, I smoke a bunch of cigarettes beforehand, and that's what works for me. That's not what works for me. But I just love that question because every single vocalist has a different answer about
Yeah,
how they take care of their voice on
me too.
tour.
Yeah. Milwaukee Metal Fest is iconic. What was that experience like the first time you played that? Being a band from Wisconsin, you're playing it again this year.
I was terrified. I like I still get stage fright all the time. I love it because I get to be this creature once I get on stage. But Milwaukee Metal Fest that first year that we played it, the year that it came back, I cannot say enough great things. I got to be on a stage that I have watched bands since I was little play on. And then that next year we got to play the ballroom stage where I've seen, I don't, countless bands play, and they treat each band so well that entire weekend. We spent the whole weekend there, and I think I saw more music than I have in my life. I made it a point to be running up and down those stairs to get to every band that I could on all three stages. And it's definitely an experience that stays with me. And I cannot wait to go back this year.
Megan, this podcast, The Metal Queen, celebrates, of course, the powerful women in heavy music. What has your experience been like carving your path in death metal as a female frontwoman?
I I most of the tours that we do and shows we play, um, I am the only woman there, and I've been very fortunate to tour and play shows with and have fans that are just incredible men who support all of that and don't really see um sex or gender in the music that they listen to. Um, I will say I one of my favorite things is this past few years, there's really been a change in um the standard shows kind of moving to all age shows. And we've played a lot of them the past few years. And I love having these little girls come out to our metal show and just see like, yeah, we can throw down. Like,
Mm.
let's do that. I want to do that. Or the whole, how does that voice come out of you? Is one of my favorites. But I love that. Um, I love, podcasts like yours that support women in this community, but also know that it's not like it's becoming just standard now. I can lose count of how many names of female
Oh,
vocalists and
I
and
know.
women in metal, not even just vocalists now. It's really cool to see, and it's cool to um have been a part of this for the past 8, 9 years and see the progression of everything and and how many just badass women are taking over metal right now.
Yeah, I mean, like I discovered you, I'm discovering, I don't know, two, three, four, sometimes five a day on
Yeah.
Instagram alone,
Yep.
and
Yep.
that's we why we've had so many already from around the world on this podcast. So it's great. I love it. Um, What is next for Casket Robbery? We know about the tour coming up. By the way, casketrobbery.com. Follow them on social for tour dates. The Milwaukee Metal Fest 2 coming up. You have that. But what about new music this year, Megan?
Yeah, we have been hard at work on a brand new full-length album. We released Lacrophagist off of it last year and kind of have been taking our time to refine this. I had a vision lyrically and conceptually with this album, and the rest of the guys too. We really want to piece that together and be it something we're proud of. I feel like Lacrophagist was our next step in our sound, and I really want to keep refining that and show like that's the level that we're at. So I'm really excited about the new stuff that we have written. Corey is set to be recording next week, so we're getting that done and out, and hopefully we'll have some videos and singles soon. We'll be playing some of the new music on this tour and at Milwaukee Metal Fest, and we have a pretty decent summer of festivals lined up. Some of them are announced, some of them are not yet. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting on the road and seeing the reception of this new stuff live.
All right, so a lot more new music coming this year. Check out all the videos from Casket Robbery that they're up already. Megan from Casket Robbery, an absolute force in modern death metal. And if you haven't checked out that Rituals of Death, their last album, crank it loud and dive into the darkness and experience one of the most relentless bands coming out of Wisconsin right now. And make sure you follow Casket Robbery on all streaming platforms and social media for tour updates, as Megan just alluded to. Some more dates to be announced, festivals coming, and new music as well. Megan, thanks for joining me here on the Metal Queens podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for watching and listening. Like it, share it, subscribe to it, write a review. This is the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards. I will talk to you again next time.